turn to the teacher. Turn to the teacher. Turn to the teacher. Turn to the teacher. Turn to the teacher.
And welcome back. I'm Mike with the Turntable Teachers, and class is back in session, here for another guest speaker episode at AOA Studios. If you're an artist, podcaster, or content creator of any kind, make sure to reach out to us at aoastudios.org to book your session or service today. And I am joined today by an incredibly special guest. You might know him or recognize him as one of the premier names in Boston hip-hop. Back here full time, which is awesome. So great to have you back. We were in LA for a little bit, you were saying.
Yeah.
This is none other than Gio Dee.
Yes, sir.
Gio Dee.
Thank you for having me, man.
So happy to have you, man. This is quite an honor.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Yeah. No, it's you're somebody that obviously a name I've known of for quite a while, and just great to have you and get to know you a litlittle bit just before the podcast and stuff like that. So
For sure.
And thanks for coming all the way out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you got a brand new project called Hardbody that we'll talk about in a little bit, and a lot of exciting things going on in your life. So this is probably a perfect time for you to jump on here and talk about it. Yeah. But what we do start with when we have new guests on, we start with the objective, which is the segment where we get to know a little bit about you and your background.
Okay.
And so I know growing up, and this is, I feel like, the case for a lot of rappers, especially when they're just starting out. You're starting out rapping, in schoolyard freestyles and lunch, recess, sort of stuff like that. I know that was like something that you started out as well. Yeah. So I'm curious, like thinking back to that time, like what type of allure or excitement accompanies those early years when you're still figuring out what type of rapper that you actually want to be? Like, are you trying out different flows? Are you trying to find your voice? Like, what's sort of the sentiments that are important when you're just like starting out in those early days?
I mean, so I never knew like I was, 100% gonna be a rapper. Like, I could say like my early stages, like introduced like to music or whatnot. My mom's every Sunday in West Indian households we have to clean the crib. So every time we clean the crib, she would literally play us like a new artist. A new album every Sunday. So it'll be either something that's currently at the time, like one Sunday she'll do DMX, the next Sunday she'll do Aaliyah, the next Sunday after that she'll do Missy Elliott, then she'll do Sade, and then go to Frank Sinatra. Like she'll give us a blend of everything. So we've always like kind of grew up just listening to all varieties of music. I think that was like my early introduction to it, and then me actually like attempting to rap. The first thing that I did in like middle school was I would kind of like try to decipher lyrics. So like my favorite songs, especially like at the mixtape era, like with like Dipset and like G-Unit and all that stuff was coming out, I would literally play their songs over and over again and write their lyrics out to try to understand what they were saying. I was doing like 11, 12. But yeah, from there, and then led to me doing my first talent show in middle school, literally 8th grade, and I did a song about gum.
I heard about this. It was I had this actually as a question earlier on, but I guess I'll go there. So for anyone that doesn't know, I heard that you basically remade a song or did like an interpolation of D4L's "Bet You Can't Do It Like Me."
Yeah,
and it was called "Bet You Can't Chew It Like Me," right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was like my first time like really attempting to rap. And then after that, I kind of like strayed away from it for a little bit because the reason why I lost the talent show was because I was throwing gum, like actual pieces of gum in the crowd, and literally one of the gums was a Bubblicious gum, but it was like rock hard.
Oh no!
And I threw it and it hit a teacher in the head, and her head was like mad red from me like throwing the gum, and I got disqualified for it. So I kind of like got discouraged. So I'm like, yo, I should have won that talent show. So I backed away from music for a little bit, and then when it came to me graduating high school, that's when I picked it back up, and I was attempting to do audio engineering. I still do record myself, like even now, like
because you went to college for audio engineering. Correct?
Yeah. I didn't end up finishing because music took off while I was doing it. But
of course.
But yeah, like I still learned the basics and everything from that. That's what helped me, I'm saying, like record. Like I got back into that mode, I would say, even like recently during COVID, is when I got kind of like back into the mode of recording myself and all that other stuff. So now I tend to do like all my ideas and stuff at home. But yeah, that's how pretty much it happened.
Yeah. Well, on that front is probably a good thing, even if you didn't finish. It's good to probably have some type of basics to that,
Yeah,
right?
for
Especially even if so that way you're more prepared when you go into the studio. That probably makes a ton of sense to be able to record yourself at home and sort of like maybe create a demo and then bring it into the studio and just like obviously, exactly, have it be a lot more efficient for you.
I think it definitely helps too, like me being an artist, like understanding the language of an engineer, because like a lot I've
That's
noticed.
a good point.
Yeah, like I noticed like when like certain artists go into like a studio or whatnot, they be like, I want an echo. And I want, you know what I'm saying? They have a hard time talking the engineer language.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, I want reverb. I want mine to have like a small little hole on it. I want like, you know what I'm saying, my auto-tune speed at a 7. I know exactly like how I want my stuff. So I think that helps with that too, for sure.
Dope. No, that's a really good point. I think if anybody that's like, you know, coming up as an artist right now, I think that's a great advice for anybody, honestly, to be able to like learn that language. And even if you don't have to necessarily go to school for it, but
hey, do your research on it.
YouTube University, baby. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
I know a lot of homies who like learn how to engineer stuff just off of YouTube.
Yeah, I believe it. No, totally. It's definitely an accessible thing now more than it was even 10 years ago. So definitely cool. Sure. I love that. And I know the first big song that came about, so anyone that's a little too young probably won't remember this, but Vine, obviously, with Mind Your Business. So what was it like for you when that song went viral, and how did Jerry Perp Drank play a role in that? I'm sure it's something you've talked about before, but just for anyone that's just kind of being introduced to you right now, like tell a little bit about that story.
So I had a song in 2015. It was called Mind Your Business. And literally, we thought it was going to like blow up kind of earlier. It was like I would say like a 7-month window before it popped off. So like Mind Your Business, the song came out, the video came out. We had put the video on World Star at the time, you know, the front page of World Star on the website and stuff like that. I had got on one of the small little boxes that was up top. So we had put the video up there, but I didn't know the website on World Star does not accumulate to views on YouTube.
Okay.
So it's only directly on that site. So I'm like, I got like 3 million views on the World Star website, but on YouTube it got like 50,000. And I'm like, damn, bro, like what's going on? Like this is kind of whack. Like I was kind of like upset about it or whatever. And I kind of like stopped paying attention to the song. Like it just went about stuff, just kept trying to release other things and all that. And it just, stuff wasn't really sticking. And then randomly, like I was literally in San Francisco. I was with my homie Ricky and my brother. We literally was on our way to Chick-fil-A. That's serious. Mind you, it was my first time trying Chick-fil-A at this time. But we were on our way to Chick-fil-A, and then Ricky's homie had called him. He's like, yo, bro, Gio's going viral right now on Vine. He's like, yo, the video just dropped, and it's already had 1 million views. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, we kind of, like, brushed it off. I'm like, I don't see anything. Like, I don't see nothing happen from it. Probably like by the time we finished eating, his homie called back, yo, bro, it's at 10 million views. Go look at it. It's really going up crazy right now for Gio. Y'all not paying attention. So I'm like, all right, whatever. My phone dies. We're driving back to the crib. We get back to the crib, which is like a 25-minute drive. We get back over there. The Vine is at like 20 million.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And mind you, at the time I dropped the song, I was so into like SoundCloud and all that stuff. I wasn't paying attention to streaming yet.
Right.
So I was like, the first thing I had to do, I was like, I have to get this on all DSPs. Like,
sure.
I jumped on a computer where I'm like, yo, we got to upload this now because the streams, all that stuff, we're missing on it.
Strike while the iron's hot. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I did. But Jerry did that like all on his own. It's all organic. Like he's been a fan of me and whatnot. And he actually is like I used to live in Randolph. He's from Randolph and stuff like that.
Got you. Okay.
So he's heard my music from when I started until that moment, and just randomly decided to use my song. And I was like, "Yo, what the heck?" Like that's literally how it happened. Like I had no idea about it, no connection to Jerry really before that. I've seen his vines and stuff at that time and whatnot, but yeah, that's literally organically how it happened. It was no like pay him to do it, no type of like industry BS behind it. It was just strictly that. Like,
hey, well, what a blessing for you, right? To be able to have that opportunity at the moment.
Sure. Shout out to Jerry too. I haven't talked to him in a while, but shout out to him. For sure.
That's got to be quite the catapult too, and that probably puts a pack, a battery in your pack, so to speak, right? To like kind of, all right, now I gotta like follow this up. I gotta like kind of like now hit the ground running.
That literally led to the My Business project, like, because I was like, yo, I'm just gonna surround the whole campaign
as you
behind
should.
it.
Yeah, totally. No, why not? Feed off that.
It was just literally a domino effect after that.
That's crazy.
Swear,
What a wild story. Good for you, man. That's fucking
sure.
dope. That's fucking dope. And then I usually don't ask this question to people just because it feels like such a surface level question, but ironically, there's a lot of layers to your name, Gio Dee, right? I was reading up on some of this, and so I've obviously seen it could be read as an acronym of literally God, like G-O-D. And then also means God is gracious, or Gio means God is gracious in Italian, and then the D is the initial of your first name. I won't give out your government to anybody here. And then when you put it together, it means beloved music. Or no, sorry, your name means beloved musician in the Bible. Excuse me. And then you put that together, it's God's gracious beloved musician, or whatever the case. So there seems like there's a lot of layers to that. And so I was just curious from not so much of why you named yourself that, but just like how your faith has played a role within your musical journey, just outside of your name, both like past and present.
Well, first off, the reason why I changed my name, because like my first rap name was very, very terrible. And like my first label meeting, I was literally there. Shout out to my OG Moneybags. We literally went to Epic Records, and we were in the office just sitting there chilling. And he was like, yo, the music is phenomenal, but the only thing is that's stopping you is your name. You have to change your name. It has to be something like distinctive, something that's marketable, whatever the case may be. He's like, I'm telling you right now, change your name. And I was like, all right, cool. We went back. We had that meeting in like November that year, and then literally December, I'm like, it was literally the day before New Year's. It was like New Year's Eve. And we just all at the crib. It was me, my homie Brandon, my brother Dion, and we just in the crib. I'm like, yo, I got to announce a new name literally tomorrow, New Year's. Like, I don't want to go forth with the name that we've been rocking with. We got to figure it out. So literally before we went out to go turn up and get ready for New Year's and stuff, we spent like 45 minutes in the crib just sitting there, just jotting a whole bunch of names that go with D. So, like, we just kept doing all types of stuff, and then randomly my homie Brandon, we just said Gio, but he was spelling it like Geo.
Geo.
Yeah, and I was like, nah. I was like, that kind of does sound fine, but it don't fit. And then I looked at the other way, Gio, like Giovanni. I was like, yo, like what does that mean type stuff? And we're looking up the meanings and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah. And then plus when we say it sounds like God. I'm like to play with words at the same time. Let's run it. That's it. That's like we all just like, oh yeah, this is it, like for sure. And it's just stuck ever since. You feel me? But as far as my faith and whatnot, like I'm a firm believer in God. Well, I've been through trials and tribulations in life. People hear it through the music. Some people have witnessed it who actually know, been around me, lived around me, and whatnot. And like my faith is literally what led me to where I am today. Like if I didn't have faith, then it was just I don't know, bro. I would have went left. I'm not gonna lie to you. So.
You got to believe in something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it's like the way I view it, especially with life, it's like nothing comes from nothing. You feel what I'm saying? That just never has happened. You see a painting, you know there's a painter. You see creation, you know there's a creator. It's just literally plain math. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to believe in something. Like there's something that created us, and that's what I'm choosing to believe. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And then channeling that through your not only your name, but your platform, your music, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. No, I listening to your music for as long as I have, like I do get the sense of like you've been through some things and you've definitely had some hardship and but there's also like, but it doesn't really come across as like you don't sound angry about any of it. It's really more of a like you just kind of channel that energy into like a positive way, and I've always like respected that about you. Like your music goes hard, but I feel like you're saying something still. You know what I mean? There's like a connective sort of tissue there that like kind of brings the whole thing together. So I think that's super cool.
For sure.
And I respect a lot. So very cool.
Thank you.
And then I know Chef Boys was like the group that you initially had sort of created at the start. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so I'm curious like how that group formed initially, and then how pivotal it was to your music career early on, and then in what ways have you all tried to like live up to the motto of creating hits everyone feels, because I know that's like kind of the acronym for it.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, we was all homies like even before music. Like we've known each other like 15 15 plus years at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we know each other since we was like early teens. And we actually all met at church. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
okay.
That's how we all met. Like,
That's pretty cool.
We all met through there, and then once before we started rapping and stuff, we would go around to parties and stuff. People would see us doing the little chef dance that Lil B had at the time.
Oh yeah.
They used to be like, oh, they go to chefs, whatever the case may be. So we just ended up running with the name. But yeah, so yeah, that influenced everything. You know what I'm saying? Because like most of the stories that I told in music was either something that I personally was going through, or something that personally somebody within the clique was going through. So yeah, we all fed off of each other's energy. We all doing great right now in life. Like some of us went to other businesses. Some of us are all still in the music industry and whatnot. But yeah, we all still cool. It's not like no bad blood and stuff. It's,
No, of course.
Life leads everybody to where it leads it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like most collectives or groups or bands, like inevitably there always becomes some type of split. It's nicer, obviously, when that's a cordial split and when it's like, all right, we need to go our separate way. We actually just had Mari here from 99 Neighbors recently. He was just talking. He was
my dog. I rock him. He's cool.
Yeah. I probably didn't realize you guys knew each other. Yeah, he's great energy, great dude. And he was talking a lot about that as well, of just like, it wasn't that we dislike, we're still friends. It's not like we dislike each other or anything bad happened. It's just that we all want to do different creative stuff, and it's hard to keep 9 people on the same path the entire time when I might have a differing opinion on a creative direction than one of my bandmates or whatever. So that happens. That's just the tried and true sort of testament of groups in not only hip hop but just music in general. Like it's just happens.
No,
it's not a bad thing. Just just life.
Yeah, that's really what it is. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like like too many heads and like too many ideas and stuff. Sometimes that tends to clash.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. No pun intended with the chef boys.
Absolutely. So that sometimes that can get draining. That causes a lot of complications and egos get hurt. And if you don't listen to this person, and it's a whole bunch of complications. But yeah.
What did you find it easier? So when did you guys actually like Chef Boys? Like when did it? So when was the like creation of it? When you guys kind of like decided to run with it?
I think it was a little bit after. This is so crazy. It's that long ago. I don't know if you remember Mouthy.
I do.
So,
I do remember Mouthy.
I think it started when we had all went to what's that concert? It was the City Hall concerts that used to happen.
Right, like
Mac
Miller, Mike Christmas, I think, did one as well. One of those.
So Mac Miller.
Is that what, maybe 2011, 2012-ish then? Does that sound right then?
Yeah, 2012.
2012-ish? Yeah.
So, Mac Miller had did his and Mouthy had opened up. And mind you, me personally, I didn't hear of Mouthy before that. I didn't pay attention to local artists or anything like that. And we kind of like seen it as like, wait, he's up there doing that and he's from where we're from. Oh, no, we could do that too. You feel what I'm saying? That kind of like sparked the idea. And then we ended up like kind of like forming the collective. And then we would go to shows. It's crazy because the first show I did was with Mouthy. Like,
right, I was going to mention that. I wasn't sure if you had, when that sort of all came into play, when you actually opened for him. And stuff like that.
I opened for him in Hyannis or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was the first time that we had like a real show. And then from that moment, it was kind of like, yo, like, who was the Chef Boys? What's the Chef Boys? He was even asking that question at the show because like certain people were walking up to them saying that. So he's like, what the heck is the Chef Boys? Whatever case may be. And then from there, it was like, we announced it with a cipher that we did on BU's radio. And then from there, just like, okay, that's like, crazy. To go.
Did you find it easier to actually get into like the music sort of industry? Or maybe, I'm not saying that, maybe take your artistry a little bit more seriously. Did you find it easier being a part of a group first and then being able to kind of break off? Like you had learned enough or, having that many people around you at that point to like do it on your own, or was there any added benefit to being in the collective first? Or
I mean, yeah, because like the campaign aspect, it was like every time we were releasing something, whether it was me or any other artists within the collective, like our promo game used to be hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we basically had our own street team. So like everywhere we would go somewhere, we would have Chef Boy t-shirts. We would be on Twitter and online spamming stuff. It didn't even matter. Like we would like go out every time we had a release. You feel what I'm saying? Like But I think that's like the number one thing that I learned from it is like kind of like street team and campaigns and marketing and stuff like that.
Like
Like,
a strength in numbers type of deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's cool.
That's just
Awesome.
all it is. Yeah,
Dope. Well, man, that was a lot of good information. The
yeah,
objective with Gio Dee. So we're gonna move on to the main lesson now, which is what you got going on
yeah.
now.
No, for
And
sure.
of course, you have the new project Hardbody, which we just had mentioned, and then the Roc Nation distribution deal, which is really cool. So I wanted to talk to you about both of those, I guess individually, but also together because they are kind of working together. It almost feels like at this point.
Yeah.
So you had said in the past, though, and I've heard you say this on other interviews that, and I appreciated the insight. I thought it was a very valid insight where you had said, just it's good to understand the purpose of labels if you are going to go that direction,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And I think you had sort of said, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you had essentially had said something along the lines of like that marketing is usually the best scenario in utilizing labels because they have tools at their disposal that maybe like us independents or maybe don't have.
Right.
Something along the lines of that you had said. So with this new Roc Nation deal, like what is the first off, what does it mean to you to be even signed to them and sort of have that opportunity? But was that sort of what you kept in mind with this deal of like, okay, kind of utilizing the marketing aspect of it, or maybe if you explain as much as you can of like what the what your reasoning was in signing with them, or what you felt value that they provided to you.
Yeah. Well, one it's kind of like the story of how like the situation happened, which I explained is kind of like really really crazy. So, RP to my homie Kearney. So the way it happened was, Kearney had hit me up, and he was like, "Yo, I think I got you a situation with Roc Nation and whatnot. Let's sit down and talk about like, what I'm saying, figuring out details of what you would want and this, that, and the third. But the meeting's gonna be happening later this week on Thursday, and this was Monday. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what I'm saying? Like, and mind you, me and Kearney always knew each other, whatever the case may be. And we, for some reason, we've just been super, super tight, like those past prior 6 months. So, we all get to the studio, whatever the case may be, and he's not at the studio. And I'm like, yo, I mainly came to the studio to talk to him to prep for this meeting and stuff. And he wasn't there. So I'm talking to Stoop Kid. I'm like, yo, bro, where Kearney at? And he's like, yo, like, he said he not gonna come tonight. Like he said he feeling sick. So I'm like, yo, what the heck? So we all call him on FaceTime. It's like the whole gang and whatnot. I'm like, bro, like, where you at? We at the stool. He's like, yo, just cook up at the stool and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think I got like food poisoning and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, cool, tight. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then I don't know. I just kept getting this gut feeling like something was off. So I hit him up on the side when I was like leaving the studio like 3, 4 a.m. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, you sure you good? Like, just on some bro to bro stuff. Like, I'm saying, if you need somebody to talk to type stuff on the bro tip, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, for you to talk to. And he's like, yeah, like, I'm straight. He's like, I just don't feel good. He's like, I had some Jersey mics earlier, whatever. It's just messing up my stomach. So I'm like, all right, cool. Just hit me in the AM. He's like, yeah, if I don't feel good in the AM, I'm going to just go to the hospital. So literally the following day, Cardi passes away.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's like, I deadass was supposed to have my meeting on that Thursday. And I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, dude, how did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, my meeting was supposed to happen this Thursday. He passes away that Tuesday. So I figured out a way to contact, shout out to Ethan. Ethan's my guy. Ethan over at Roc Nation. And we still ended up talking everything out and whatnot, and then figuring out all the logistics of what exactly we wanted to do. And then he ended up bringing me to Andrew. Andrew's the one who I did my deal with for publishing. I'm with Roc Nation for publishing, so now I'm not signed to them fully as an artist. I'm still independent. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh,
they
that's
just
great.
they just assisted me with publishing and whatnot. So which is great. You know what I'm saying? Because I still get to move around, do exactly what I want to do as
The
an
best of both
independent.
worlds in that
Yeah,
scenario.
you feel what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I also get access to certain things that I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's how the whole deal came about.
Ooh.
So, it means 10 times more to me, you know what I'm saying? Because my homie Kearney set it up 2 days before he passed away.
Wow.
So, that's why I'm like, nah, I got it. This didn't happen for no reason, you feel what I'm saying? So, I have to take the situation, like.
Goes back to our earlier conversation
Yeah.
about like nothing comes from nothing. Like
Yeah,
that's not
for sure.
That's not wow. That
It's
is
like a
well,
blessing in disguise. You feel what
holy
I'm
shit!
saying?
Wow,
So,
it's almost like his last thing he did on this earth. Like he obviously you guys were close, you guys were
Yeah.
friends. Like he helped a good friend out, and then wow, that's just crazy. Wow,
Yeah,
I'm sorry for your loss. That's like
Nah, I
first and
appreciate
foremost, like that means more. That matters more than anything. Any of this stuff we're talking about,
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure,
Like
for
that's.
sure. Hell yeah.
But what a wildly like serendipitous story. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
Of
sure,
like
yeah.
the way that all sort of happened.
Yeah.
It's like divine intervention almost.
But that's
Holy shit.
yeah, that's literally how it happened. And then me and Andrew talked. Me and Andrew super tight. Like that's my guy. He's been assisting me with a lot, giving me a lot of insight, helping me understand what publishing is and whatnot, and also like how to maneuver. Now being, you know what I'm saying, associated with them and whatnot. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been great so far, you know what I'm saying? And it's still early on. Like you know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying? Like
yeah.
we've only locked it in for like a month now. So
Sure,
it's like
sure.
it's not like, you know what I'm saying, like we've got to fully like develop and certain things. Yeah, we're still kind of like in the early stages. So I'm just excited to see what exactly is going to
There's a lot of room to grow right now with
Yeah.
that, and that's amazing. Well deserved, Gio, because you've been doing, like I said, you've been really doing your thing for quite a long time, and you're very well respected, not only out here but throughout the country. So,
Yeah.
that definitely, I'm not surprised. It's very well deserved.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you.
No, of course, much appreciated. Much appreciated for what you've done with your career. It's just a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about the project for sure as well.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we're actually going to quickly segue to a segment we like to do called Pop Quiz.
Okay.
So on Pop Quiz, for anybody that's a fan of Gio Dee and just sort of being introduced to us for the first time, Pop Quiz is a segment where we ask our guests rapid fire questions. Some of them have to do with music. Some have absolutely nothing to do with music. But they're all about you, so you can't fail. There's nothing like unless you don't know yourself well, which you probably should. There's no way you fail. So yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So you've opened for a lot of industry artists like Joyner Lucas and Lil Uzi Vert, G-Eazy, Iamsu, Dom Kennedy, Lil B. Probably the list goes on and on. Without thinking too hard, what's one memory or story from any of them that stands out the most to you, or comes to mind very quickly when I ask this question?
I think going on tour with Iamsu. That tour was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was my first time going on a tour. He brought me on my first
14 cities, right? You went to?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. It was dope. It was super dope.
Yeah. Anything particular that or like a specific stop on the way that was like really
Not really, but it's just the experience overall, like going to different cities, big stages, like the relationships with certain people in different states that I gained from that. Yeah, just all that. Like,
cool.
It's just the experience for sure.
Super dope. I know you used to crump. Is that correct?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like that's crazy that you said that.
So, keeping your own experiences with crumping in mind, what aspects of crump do you think have had like the most influence on hip hop or you making music, and then vice versa? Like we had Rilla Force on a little couple months ago too. He used to crump as well, so he was talking a little bit about this as well. Yeah,
he was around the guys. So but I think more so crump influenced me with music when it comes to my ad libs. Like that's like, cause crump is really like ad lib based. You feel what I'm saying? Like when people are dancing and whatnot, it's just a whole bunch of shouting and all that other stuff. So I think it helped influence me when it comes to that. I don't think really necessarily with my beat selection or anything like that, but yeah, as far as ad libs. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. That's awesome. No, well, I'm glad you're happy I brought it up. I was gonna ask. Well, this question already came up. I was gonna ask you if it was a true or false. If your first rap ever was an interpolation of D4L's "Bet You Can't Do It Like Me" about gum, "Bet You Can't Chew It Like Me," which we already know. Yeah. But if you were to remake a song today, right? Yeah. What song would you choose and why? If you were to go back and like do
remake one of my songs?
No, sorry. Like if you were to remake another like major song like that, like a D4L.
Yeah,
like if you were to remake a song today, which would it be?
I think "Pretty Boy Swag" by Soulja Boy.
Okay. Hopefully, I feel like you could do it better. no shade at Soulja Boy. Obviously a legend. Right. That's pretty funny. All right. So now these couple of questions. Next questions I have for you are on the parenting side, because you're obviously a parent of two. And what's the toughest part about parenthood that people don't talk about as often as they should?
I think just because what I choose to do is profession, the time away. I think
that makes
that's the
sense.
number one thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there be times, like, I'll be doing stuff, I'll be like, damn, I miss my daughter. Damn, I miss my son. I just think that's the most, like, difficult thing. Because obviously when I'm traveling or doing this, down the third, I'm not in a position now where I can bring him everywhere. I do bring my son more things now compared to my daughter because she's still young. But yeah, I've been trying and attempted to do that, but I think that's the most difficult thing for sure.
I believe it. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And I know you and your son love playing video games together. Is that
Yeah,
want You
for
guys are
sure.
big gamers.
Play
So
Fortnite all the time.
I was about to say, so I'm going to give you a couple video game questions here. So want you to blind rank these 3 video games without knowing which one comes next. So we'll give it an A tier, right? So that's going to be like your best, the best. C tier is like, mid or whatever, and then your F tier. We'll start with Fortnite. Is that going in the A tier, the C tier, or the F tier, without knowing which 2 video games are coming next?
I think it's C tier.
Okay. How about Roblox?
F tier for sure.
Call of Duty. That's gonna have to go in the A tier.
That's
then.
A tier, yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Do you feel like that was about the same?
Yeah,
the way you would have
sure.
ranked them with knowing it. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which game or experience have you played in Roblox with your son that you guys like enjoy the most, or have you like made a game? I don't play the game often, but I had to do a little bit of research about the game before I asked this.
Yeah, no, for sure. He likes to play Brookhaven a lot. That's his favorite thing to do. Lately he's been getting into I signed him up for coding classes.
Oh, nice.
So he's been trying to do like making his own like games within Fortnite. I mean not Fortnite, Roblox.
Roblox, yeah.
So he's been attempting and just practicing doing that.
Super cool. Good for
you.
him. No, it's good. It's good. I think games like that are good to get kids like sort of into that mode of like, oh, maybe this is something I could do long term if I like enjoy it, right? Like I like coding video games or whatever, right?
Yep.
It's totally different than when we grew up in a lot of ways.
It's
I
way
think
more
too.
advanced, bro.
Way more advanced. I know.
We wouldn't learn how to do nothing like that till high school.
I know. Yeah, we were just talking about off air about us. Well, actually, don't come get us. Downloading the songs off LimeWire and shit like that, or still making. I was still in my mixtape era, right? We weren't streaming shit. It was all you still had to buy the songs off iTunes if you wanted to stream them. Which version of Call of Duty is the best? Like, which game within that like world do you think is the best?
I think Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2?
Yeah, that one's my favorite for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then if there's a video game you'd love to have a sync deal with, which video game would it be?
That's a good question. I like that one. Hold on. If a video game I could have a sync deal with. Dang, that's crazy. I never thought about that. Does it have to be a game that's like currently existing?
Not necessarily.
I think I would.
We're just having fun.
110% would be Def Jam Fight for New York.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want them to bring that game back so bad, like especially like with modern rappers and stuff like that. I can see like Juice WRLD fighting XXX or something like that with a video game. You feel me? Like it'll be fire.
Over a Gio Dee song in the background.
Like that's something that I would want. I definitely would want. So
fire. Well, that was a great answer. That was Pop Quiz with Gio Dee.
Yes, sir.
You did great.
Yeah,
definitely got an A there. I want to talk about Hardbody now. Of course, the EP or album, I guess you'd call it EP. What do you project?
It's like an EP, yeah. Because it's an EP. Because the album that's about to happen, that one is the one.
Okay, good. Yeah, so this was the warm up then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's three projects connected, pretty much.
Interesting.
Well, 4 actually.
Is this
it's three. It's 3. Sorry. 3.
Is this the first of the 3 then, or
this is the first of the 3. The next one that's about to drop is actually a collab project.
Okay.
But that's not a part of it. It's just a collab project. But the other 2 after that are a part of it.
Understood. Yeah. So okay. So talk to me a little bit. So then talk to me about Hardbody because great body of work. I definitely really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Definitely liked that one. The song with Caso's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I really respect my body. That one goes hard.
Shout out to Caso. Hey now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got that other song with him, 10,000 Hours, that I really like a lot.
Yeah,
I almost like that one better, to be honest. But,
yeah.
That one goes hard. Mm-hmm. But what was it about this body of work specific? Because you had said a little off air, we were talking, you felt like you'd gone in a slightly different direction with this one. So what about this project made it a little bit more different than what you've done before? And then what also made it sort of the worthy project to sort of start your publishing deal with Roc Nation. So I'm kind of curious how this one comes into play. And then as much as you want to give away about like sort of the next 2 bodies of work that are coming that are connected to it, kind of curious about that.
So this just leads up to like this project was more therapeutic for me in a way. This one
Okay.
and the next one, they're both like therapeutic projects for me.
Okay.
Just because this project, I wasn't angry in this project, but it more so was like getting back to having fun with the music. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did these projects kind of. So the next one that's dropping, that one I did first.
Interesting.
And then I did this one, and then the other one is like what I'm working on now.
Interesting.
So, yeah, this project was more so me getting back in the habit of having fun with music. It wasn't like I was in a depressing state, but like I was kind of like going through mad transitions, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, life-wise and whatnot. Like me moving to LA and taking things to a different level and all this other stuff. And this is the first time, like, I felt like since my business till now, where I actually got back into that mode of having fun while making music. So that's really what this project was more so for, to have fun, but also introduce the new sound that I'm going towards, because the sounds that's after this doesn't sound like this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I find it fascinating that you did this one after the one that's coming out.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that this one that's coming out next is a little bit more of a vulnerable, like deeper sort of?
It's kind
or no? Or
it's a blend of that. There's still like, you know what I'm saying, some turn joints on there and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Hardbody had a lot of
Yeah.
just bangers, like really just enjoyable songs you could just, throw on
Yeah,
at a
for
car
sure.
party, whatever sort of setting you want, and it's like,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna, question it or be upset that it's on. You know what I mean? It's not like playing some sappy song at a party and be like, bro, shut this shit up.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I think that's literally what it leads up to. This is like the prequel to, you know what I'm saying, the chapters that's going on to where I'm at currently. You know what I'm saying? Like the one I'm working on now is where I'm at currently.
I like that. I like the idea of like almost like a trilogy too. That's really cool.
that's
to like
really
sort
what
of
it is.
show like a representation in your life. That's cool.
Yeah.
What if someone, let's say for example, somebody listening to this podcast has never heard any of your music before, which would be kind of a crime, but let's just call it what it is. What song off of Hardbody do you think would be a great introduction for them to sort of hear if they haven't heard you before?
It would be between Passive Income and Iceberg Slim.
I like Passive Income a lot. That's a good one.
Yeah, it'll be between those two. For
Cool.
Sure.
Well, let's go with Passive Income. Might I play a clip of that for the people?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
This is Passive Income off of Gio Dee's latest project, Hardbody.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
I'm going to play just a snippet of that. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Rich life, you should try it. I lost my mind, I'm trying to find it. Deep hills that I take got me the highest. I can't let them one up me, not in the slightest.
I know they want me dead. I see the jealousy and they envy, they don't want me rich. With all that sneakers and they think I don't notice it. But I'm too tired, working on this money that is passing. Staying inside of your feelings gon' end up past it. Working on other endeavors, I'm causing havoc. I hope they hear me now. I ain't get no handouts. And I ain't never been a blend in, nigga know I'ma stand out. And I keep the heaven in, man, but these bitches fanning up. They gon' keep hating on us, but you know how this gon' pan out. Niggas can't 800, but I cannot fuck with counterfeits. Send that shit that way. Over here, not buying it. I put mine on, I'm a pioneer. The pussy spot, baby, I'm lying in. I can't cuff you, don't spy on me.
And that was Passive Income by Gio Dee off of his brand new project, Hardbody. Make sure you stream that on anywhere where you get your music. It is linked in the description below. Don't go anywhere yet, though, because we got still a little bit left with Gio.
Yep.
I'm not going anywhere quite yet. But yeah, once this episode is concluded, make sure you click the links in the description to tap in with Gio and keep up with all the great music he's put out to this date and what he's got coming next. So, So when you were creating these three bodies of work, have you been sort of working with the same producers, same locations, or have you sort of changed up where you've been making the music? Like, I'm kind of curious about your creative process for these three bodies of work, and sort of the like the ideas that you were kind of bringing into it. Because I'm wondering, was this like a something that you were like premeditated, like you wanted to do the 3 bodies of work like that, make it a trilogy, or did it kind of happen while you were just creating and sort of just kind of was more organic?
It kind of was more organic. With this project, most of it I worked with the same producers. Shout out my guy K Selly. K Selly engineered and produced a lot of joints. Akachi, Bink Boys, Sonic Boom, Be Heavy, Kosh made it, Vic heated up, Boz. All of those are my guys. KZ produced a lot too, and he's also featured on there.
Yep.
But yeah, like most of this project was kind of like all in house though. Like those are my guys. That's where I record at now, like consistently.
Is that the Do Over Don't studio
Yeah,
where
Do
you
Over Don't,
where
yeah.
you record?
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys. They're
Yeah.
no, you're good. No worries. Gio's putting holes in the walls over here.
But nah, yeah. So Do Over Don't. That's where I recorded the whole Hardbody project.
Oh, cool.
Excited for the Hate, which is the next project.
Ooh, I like that title.
Yeah.
That's a badass title, Gio. I fuck with that.
Yeah,
very dope.
Excited for the Hate. That kind of was a blend of different places. Like that was, I think there's like a couple that were here. There's songs on there that was majority of that project I actually made in LA, and then there's some songs on there I also did in Atlanta. That kind of was like me traveling a lot, just expressing everything that I go through and all the different places bring out different emotions and whatnot. So I think that's more so where like that's where I was at when I recorded that. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, that's cool that even though there are going to be three bodies of work that are kind of connected, they're still, you were in like almost a different headspace and physical space in each of those. So I'm sure like we'll be able to hear that as an audience, right? Like the sort of different places that you're in.
Yeah.
Really cool. What up? And then the third body of work, what do you have a title for that yet, or any sort of like, is it going to be a different sound to that third project, or is it going to be sort of like an amalgamation of the first two?
It's going to be a blend of both of those.
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
For sure. Yeah.
Really dope.
I don't want to get the title of that one yet.
That's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, but excited.
I tried.
Excited for the Hate. That's my next individual project. But before that, I'm doing a collab project with my homie Lucianne Parker. Dude is so talented.
Oh, okay.
We have a project called The Villains that's about to come out. So.
And that's before Excited for the Hate?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a
that's
cool...
going to be like end of the summer. So.
End of the summer.
Yeah.
Fire. I kind of like how that Excited for the Hate leads after Villains.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like it kind of works out.
For sure.
Really dope, man. Well, listen, congratulations on not only obviously the Roc Nation signing, but obviously publishing deal, I shouldn't say signing, and all the music you're putting out, because this is like, I think, it's a good time for you to be putting out all this music. I think you got eyes on you right now, and not that you haven't, but I think there's a lot of people sort of like starving for some more Gio Dee, and I think this Hardbody project that's out now, I think is a good appetizer for what's coming.
For sure. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So this is just to, hold them over for a little bit. Then the collab project with me and Lou is fire, and then Excited for the Hate is fire too. It's like they're just gonna get back to back joints, you feel what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna be the most I've flooded with music in a while. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it feels that way.
I feel like I'm on my future run right now. That's serious. I'm not joking. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
Coming off of that, so the rest of this year, right, when this sort of year's all said and done, like, what do you have any sort of expectation long term with what this year might bring? Are you just kind of in the moment, sort of living it out? I'm kind of curious too of like what you maybe see for yourself 3 to 5 years from now, like where you hope you might be.
I don't have no crazy expectations, you know what I'm saying? Because every time people expect stuff, you know what I'm saying, you end up getting upset when it don't go that way,
right?
Whatever the case may be. But I do have a lot of endeavors and other things that I'm doing on the side of music and things that involve music that people are gonna see come forth, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell? I didn't even know Gio does stuff like that."
Cool.
So
anything you're willing to specifically share? Not yet. Okay,
NDAs
all right.
And all types of stuff,
I figured I'd ask anyway. That's okay. If it's NDA, don't even bother.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's gonna be fire when people see certain things reveal itself. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even know he was doing all that or building up all this stuff. It's going to be exciting, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's Excited for the Hate.
I love that. Well, that's super dope though, because I think that I love when artists, show a different side of them or show something else creatively that they do, or just another thing that maybe they're passionate about that they get into. Like, I think it sort of shows, fans, audience, whatever that case may be, like it just adds another layer to like the persona of that artist. I think that that's really cool when artists open up themselves to like different opportunities like that, whether it be fashion or film or whatever it may be, whatever those endeavors may be. So
yeah, for sure,
really dope, man.
Yeah.
Well, Gio Dee, everybody, this has been a really great episode. I've like really enjoyed having you down here, and you're somebody that I've wanted to have on the show for quite a while, and I'm glad that you were able to come down here. And this seems like a really good time for you. So nothing but love and just congratulations towards you for everything you've been doing and everything that's coming your way. It seems like it's going to be a big year. Already has been a big year, and you got a great rest of the second half of the year for you. So much love to you, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you inviting me.
Of course. We can't let you go quite yet because we have our last segment of the show, which is the open response. In the open response, we do the dream song scenario, which is you get a song. It's a Gio Dee song, and you can have any artists and producers on that song, dead or alive. So I know you've had some crazy collaborations with Marky Basie, Quentin Miller, Made in Tokyo, Millie's Metro Boomin, Iamsu. The list kind of has been going on and on. But for you get a dream song that can be anyone dead or alive. You get up to 2 producers and 3 guest artists, and it's your song. Who would be on Gio Dee's dream song scenario?
Producer wise, I think it would be Timberland.
Okay.
Kanye.
I'd like to hear you over a Timberland beat. That would be dope.
Yeah, a Timberland and Kanye collab beat.
Okay.
Feature wise, I would probably do Tory Lanez.
Okay.
Future.
Okay.
And this is probably going to throw people off of this last one.
Go for it. I'm here for it. I like the weird shit.
Rob Banks.
Rob Banks. That's a name I haven't heard in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's serious.
I know. I didn't think you were kidding. I'm taking it seriously.
I think those 3 with me on the track would be freaking fire.
You heard it here first, people. Gio Dee featuring Tory Lanez, Future, and Rob Banks, produced by Timbaland and Kanye West. I think it would be a #1 Billboard smash hit.
For sure.
We manifest out here, people.
Yeah.
That was Gio Dee, everybody. Gio, the last thing would be to look in that left side camera and let people know where they can find you. Anything else you want to say or mention, or anyone you want to shout out, now is the time.
Yo, what's happening? It's your boy Gio Dee. I want to let y'all know Hardbody is out now on all platforms. Go get it. Go stream it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got deluxe dropping for y'all too. Let me tell you that right now. Y'all heard it here first.
Turntable Teachers exclusive. Let's go.
You guys get a deluxe with extra songs on there. Yeah, you guys can follow me everywhere. I am Gio Dee on all platforms. DM me if you want to work. I don't reject any type of work, as long as you're good. If you aren't good, I'm sorry. You got to go the other way. But let's tap in. Let's lock in. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate Turntable Teachers for having me. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Welcome anytime, Gio. Yeah. And if you are a fan of Gio Dee, just being introduced to us for the first time, make sure to follow us at Turntable Teachers on Instagram and TikTok. Hit up our website, turntableteachers.com, for all the latest blogs, podcast episodes, etc. And then, of course, if you're an artist, podcaster, or content creator of any kind, reach out to us at aoastudios.org to book your session or service today. We offer a plethora of services. We are located right in the heart of the North Shore in Beverly, Massachusetts. Once again, Gio Dee, everybody. Really appreciate you coming down and coming down on the show.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you. Of
course.
For sure.
So as always, I'm Mike. That's Gio Dee with the Turntable Teachers, and class is officially dismissed.